How's it going, Demetrius?
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. What's it kind of been like going through these practices for the bowl game and stuff in your last year and stuff?
Yeah, it's been just a whole lot of fun. Remembering why you started to play football as a kid. You get to cherish moments like these, finishing up your college career, or finding out what's the next step. Whether you go on or you ponder ideas of coming back and trying to make another great run. So things like that. But all in all, we just focus on being in the moment, being out here today, being able to enjoy the guys out there, having a nice sunshine out there, and just playing football.
Before the season, Nick was telling folks that he thought this defense would be historic. Mm-hmm. Do you think it lived up to that, or what's sort of your take after these 12 games?
I believe it lived up to that because we believed in that belief, that motto of being the best and being historic. Of course, it didn't. We didn't let it just go to waste. We didn't just say it just to get another thing up on the wall in here or things like that or something to advertise to recruits. But we lived that. We lived it out on and off the field, and I believe that's why you see the type of recruits that we're getting here. People are starting to realize what this place is truly about, and I think being a historic defense helps with that.
Nick was just in here hyping up Fred Johnson. What have you seen from him this season as a guy who can continue to develop and make an impact next year?
Yeah, he is going to be off the charts as long as he continues to grow and truly learn and absorb and truly be a sponge like he has in our room. He's not the most outspoken, but then again, he doesn't really have to speak because he's got guys like me, Debo, and Bam in the room that will really, rally the guys and bring people along. But as he transitions into that, leadership role, I believe that he can go through the ceiling with potential and truly his leadership. And I believe this team will be following him in the next few months here because of what he can do on the field, most definitely, but also off the field as he continues to open up a little bit more.
Demetrius, a couple for you. One, do you got all the kids' Christmas presents put together yet?
I do, but they are not wrapped very pretty as my wife wraps them, but they're wrapped. That's all that matters. So, yes.
And two, the interception you had against Clemson, I noticed you were coming back to the sideline, and there was a Clemson staffer saying, hey, give me the ball. And you kind of cradled that thing like a newborn baby. Just what was that interaction like, and do you still have?
Yes, I do still have that ball. That's a moment that I told myself I would never forget, and to play them a couple of times being at Georgia Tech and never beat them, especially at home. Moments like that, it got emotional. So I know he didn't understand at the time, but I'm like, if you were in my shoes, you wouldn't want to give this ball up either. So wanted to let my son have that one. So he's got that one forever. It does.
You personally have been through some tough years at Georgia Tech. At Charlotte, you haven't maybe had an opportunity like this in a bowl game to get a 10th win. Just what are you looking forward to personally about that experience and what you're going to get to do in Orlando?
Yeah, really just being able to enjoy another month, another, a couple more weeks with the guys, being at home for a little bit and watching all the college football selections go on and us not be in. But that was, of course, heartbreaking, tough to watch, but knowing that there's another couple of weeks, another game that we get to go in together, another week of preparation we get to go in together, just to send everybody out the right way before they go into the spring here in a little bit is going to be special. Not just the things that we're going to do on the field when we play against a great Illinois team, but also off the field, getting to enjoy Orlando, being in each other's company and grow closer, off the field. So when we go out there for that last time, we can leave it all out there and be happy with what we put out there.
I'm guessing by the fact you're here, you're playing in the bowl game. There's draft stuff about you. What went into your decision to come back for one more game?
Just being led by Holy Spirit just to finish. He didn't bring me this far just to quit and throw in the towel. And of course, there's a lot of thinking that goes into it. But he's kept me safe through the entire season. He's not going to switch now. He's not going to change now. He's not going to allow me to go out there and jeopardize anything. This is his plan for me, his will. And I'm going to go out there and let it ride for my guys one more time and try to get this 10th win.
What would you say is the signature play of this defense this season? When you guys get together 10, 20 years from now for a reunion, a play that all the defensive guys will be talking about?
player that we'll probably be talking about a lot is probably Nick Emmanwori's interception at Oklahoma and running all the way back for, just the first play. Just being starting games off like that, starting hot is something that you don't forget, so especially at that point in the season. We just come off of a, heartbreaking loss at Bama, so we're looking for a spark. And nobody knew how that game was really going to go. Of course, we knew that we were going to come out swinging, not holding back, and that really started this run that we went on. So that's going to be one that this team or this defense remembers as we come back together in a couple of years. Remember this historic defense.
You're a leader, and I'm sure a mentor for some of these guys. Did anybody come up and talk to you about whether or not they should play in the bowl game, or did you give a message to anybody about the desire to keep playing and the importance behind that?
Not really. If they came to me, I would have told them that, do what's best for them in their career, because I can't control what they do. Only they can control what they do. If they play, then great. If they don't play, it's also great. You're still a brother because of the bond that we've created off the field. So you'll be supported regardless of whichever you decide to do. But just going out here and finishing one more time, that's what I wanted to do. So if they do come to me, that's what I'm going to tell them, just to finish the right way. Finish what you started. I have kids, and I didn't want my daughter or my son to be like, oh, why didn't you play in the last game? And I'm like, I didn't feel like it, or I feel like I would get injured. I don't want to give them an excuse, if they feel like they got to finish homework. Oh, I felt tired. I didn't feel like doing it. You did it, Illinois, and then I got to live with that. But no, I want to show them how to, finish what you start. When you start it, finish it, and that's a good quality in a person.
What is life kind of been like for you post making that interception? Like being around Columbia, like if more people come up to you and stuff, and what are some of the reactions you've gotten from fans or just random people in Columbia?
Yes, my wife has noticed that very well now, where she'll see fans see me before I see them. She's like, "Oh, here we go," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "They're gonna come ask you." And then it turns into a little conversation. So she takes the kids and goes to the car. Other situations have happened where I've been at home doing my my dadly duties and taking trash to the bin, and a neighbor comes out and it's kind of awkward. He stood there for a second, and I guess he knew who I was, but he wanted to make sure. And I feel him staring, but he's not looking at me. So I'm like, he's gonna ask me at some point. So. Once I finally put the recycling in, he's like, "Oh, aren't you?" No, yes. So it's been a lot of notoriety, but it's nice. But love the fans here. Appreciate you.